Ladies and gentlemen, members of the CODESRIA community, I would like to welcome you to the second in a series of videos that we have shared with you in relation to the preparation for the General Assembly of CODESRIA, which is forthcoming in December. In this particular video, I would like to give you an update that will be useful to you, especially in relation to your preparations for the General Assembly that begins in about 3 weeks' time. There are about 3 things that I would like to share with you that I think are very critical at the moment and that will be useful to you as you begin your journey preparing to come to Dakar, Senegal. The first of those is an update in relation to the scientific program of the CODESRIA General Assembly. We have already begun preparations to lay out the scientific program of the General Assembly, and we have agreed that we are going to organize the General Assembly beginning the morning of the 17th of December at around 9 a.m., going all the way to the 21st of December, where we will conduct the elections of the next Executive Committee of CODESRIA. The scientific program of the General Assembly will be organized around 2 main sessions. On the first 2 days of the General Assembly, we will have the plenary sessions of the Assembly. On the 3rd day, we will have parallel sessions of the Assembly. And on the last 2 days of the General Assembly, we plan to have another set of plenary sessions. These sessions will include both presentation of academic papers, keynote addresses, but also a celebration of a number of our colleagues who have performed several functions at the General Assembly, but who, for reasons that we all know, passed on, and we thought that the country should be able to celebrate them. Among these include a session we will organize in honor of the late Professor Samir Amin. As many of you do know, Samir Amin was the founding executive secretary of CODESRIA, and he passed away a few months ago. We will also remember 2 colleagues who have played a critical role in the functions both of the Secretariat and of the Scientific Committee of CODESRIA. These are Professor Abdurrauf Mustafa, who passed on a while ago, but also Professor Aminata Diao, who passed on. Aminata is the former senior program officer in charge of the training, grants, and fellowships program. We have organized this session in memory of these colleagues, but we are going to make sure that that celebration is also anchored on a scientific theme. The General Assembly will eventually conclude on the 21st with the election of the Executive Committee, and plans have already been set to make sure that this process commences and ends in a good way. We've also organized a series of keynote addresses that we think are going to be critical for the General Assembly. As you all know, at the CODESRIA General Assembly, we normally have at least 4 major lectures, one of which is presented by the outgoing president of the council. And in this case, that lecture, the Cloud Ake lecture, is going to be presented by Professor George Chikata, who is the current president of CODESRIA. We'll have 4 other lectures, one of which will be presented by His Excellency Thabo Mbeki, former president of South Africa, and his lecture will be the Sheikh Anta Diop lecture. We'll have a lecture by Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka, who has agreed to join us, and his lecture will be the Leopold Sedar Senghor lecture. For me, it's an interesting moment for us to have Professor Wole Soyinka speaking about Sedar Senghor, partly because of his famous statement about the tiger, not declaring its tigritude. The final lecture that we are going to have in this series of lectures that CODESRIA has always had is going to be the Miriam Makeba lecture. The Miriam Makeba lecture will be given by Professor Osman Khan, who is a professor of divinity at Harvard University. We have also decided that we will hold an end-note lecture, the lecture that will close the General Assembly. And this particular lecture will be given by Yvonne Awor. Yvonne Awor is the author of an award-winning novel called Dust, and she's just about to release another novel which will be useful for us to discuss at the General Assembly. These keynote lectures together constitute an important part of the scientific component of the General Assembly, and I am excited as Executive Secretary to have been able to bring this group of speakers together. We look forward to listening to them, engaging them, and having a good time intellectually at the General Assembly. Finally, I would like to address the issue of logistics, which I think is also very important. We've received numerous questions from members of the community asking us about the logistics, and I want to address this very quickly. Our team at CODESRIA has already done a lot in terms of getting the travel tickets ready. So most members of the community have actually already received their tickets and should be planning to come to Dakar. We are now finalizing with accommodation, and details about accommodation will be sent to you shortly. The final thing that I would like to address in this component is that all people who have been invited to attend the General Assembly by CODESRIA should not worry about the question of visa. Visas will be given at the port of entry in Dakar. We have already commenced plans with the ministry in charge in Senegal to be able to do that, and we are hoping that no one will have any problem in relation to acquisition of visa. This perhaps is important for us because the government of the Republic of Senegal has been very good and useful to CODESRIA in terms of allowing us to be able to convene major events and being able to do that while at the same time securing our visas at the port of entry in Dakar. I take this opportunity, of course, to thank the government of the Republic of Senegal for this, and to assure members of the community who are traveling to the 15th General Assembly that the visas will be issued, will be received by members of the CODESRIA Secretariat, and we are planning for a smooth, easy, and successful assembly as we get into the last 3 weeks of that. I want to wish you well. We will be sending you again another update before the General Assembly, so that by the time you leave your homes, you know exactly what's going to happen. Thank you very much for listening to me, and all the very best as we plan for the General Assembly.